G'day viewers, I'm Simon Christie and welcome to Life Off-Road. This program is a search for the lifestyle, the passion and the language that unites four-wheel drivers right across the world. Normally that search takes us all over Australia, but every now and then we're lucky enough to be invited to an exotic international location, and that's where we are today. We've landed ourselves in China, but we're not here to explore the cities. We're here to test some Australian-made products in some of the world's toughest terrains. So come along for the ride as we explore the deserts of Inner Mongolia. Here we are, smack bang in the hustle and bustle of Beijing, preparing for another Life Off-Road adventure. Now, I've done plenty of off-roading around the world, but this trip is going to be completely different. I've had nothing to do with the planning. I don't speak the local language, and the locals don't speak much English. I'm pretty anxious and unsure about what lies ahead of us, but I'm ready to take on the challenge. Fortunately, I have brought a secret weapon with me, my wife Shu Min. She's going to be the translator, facilitator and a key factor in making sure this trip goes to plan. I'm in front of Yunliang's workshop. This is a massive central point for off-roaders here in China and a gateway to take us to where we want to go on our adventure into Inner Mongolia. Let's head inside, meet the owner and get ready to head off. Hello. I'm looking for Yunliang. Is he here?
哎，你好，请问云良在这边吗？啊，谢谢。云良哥你好，你好，这是 Simon。
嗨，你好，你好。
Hello， 大家好，我是都云良。首先欢迎 4WD TV 到中国来拍摄我们中国越野的节目。我给4WD TV 呢推荐了我们北京越野爱好者最喜欢的，我们经常去玩的一些地方，是翁牛特旗。
For this trip, Yunliang has lent us a 200 series Land Cruiser that has been kitted out with some very smart accessories. Up the front, we've got the ARB steel bull bar. Under the vehicle, we're running the Old Man Emu sport suspension and ARB underguard protection. We've got the ARB roof rack rear drawers and an ARB fridge and a pair of Tread Pro traction boards. Together, these accessories will give us just about everything we need to survive the deserts of Inner Mongolia.
我们将要到达的目的地是翁牛特旗乌丹镇。从北京出发需要6个小时的时间，大概有500公里的路程。我们到达了赤峰，然后我找了我们当地的朋友，对沙漠的地形是非常的熟悉的。然后由我的这个朋友王立猛带着我们去沙漠去体验。在进沙漠之前呢，我们首先一个就是先要给轮胎放气。
It's always critical to get your air pressures right. Now the guys here, the locals, have told us that the sand is very soft. They've advised we go down to between 1 and 0.8 bar. Now that's around 12 to 14 PSI, which is quite low. We've got the trusty ARB tyre deflator. We've got the front set right. Let's get the rears done and head into the desert.
因为这个地形的这个沙漠呢是非常的软的，沙子非常的软，所以我们决定呢把我们的4个轮的气压呢放到0.8。在我们行进的过程当中呢，减少了陷车的这可能性。
Running running slightly behind schedule, we pushed on into the desert of Inner Mongolia, a vast area spanning over 1,800 square kilometres. The setting sun chases us as we finally head off in search of our campsite, and the size of the desert and challenge of navigation becomes threateningly apparent as the sandy scape stretches to the horizon in all directions. It is an amazing drive, the golden rays of the final sun stretching the shadows from June to June. Words, photos and videos can only dabble with the reality of what your senses imbibe during such an experience. There's no argument from any of our group. It's breathtaking.
准备进入沙漠的时候已经是傍晚了，这个时候呢，对越野新手来说是一个挑战，因为路天一黑了，马上就看不到。我们有经验非常丰富的驾驶员，还有我们的向导。
怎么成这样啊？这个
我们在沙漠里要长途的驾驶，我们还要在里面露营。我们要吃沙漠深处的牧民家的羊肉，我们要在那里做饭，我们要度过一个非常美好的夜晚。我们吃了一个非常隆重的一个大餐，因为我们要接待我们的好朋友Summer。我们的晚餐呢是2道中国的传统的家常菜，第一个呢是烙肉饼，是用牛肉做的，然后还有一个呢是涮羊肉。烙肉饼还是比较复杂的。通常我们去沙漠里玩都是吃一些比较简单的。我也是第一次在沙漠里面去烙这个肉，可能外观不是特别好看。我在和Summer我们在一起在配合的过程中，Summer负责的是切肉，他可能不知道我要怎么去做，他也不知道我们这菜是否能够成功。当我们把这个所有的原材料放在那块的时候，可能只有我脑子里才知道我最终要吃什么，怎么去做，吃到的味道是什么。他把肉切完，我把面和好。然后再把做出来的时候，大家都情不自禁地赶紧去拿一份，我要尝尝，好吃不好吃，还是非常出乎我自己的意料的，就是非常的好吃。所以以后呢，我们也会在野外呢把这道菜保留下来。然后第二道菜呢是一个我们在沙漠里经常去吃的，就是我们的沙漠火锅，因为那个是非常非常的容易做到，水烧开，把新鲜切的羊肉放到火锅里，然后再加一些调料，你就可以吃了。如果澳大利亚的朋友要看到的话，可以把这道菜，就火锅这道菜学会，非常非常的容易。比方说新鲜的牛肉或者新鲜的羊肉，放在水里一烧开，再放一些调料就可以了，什么都不用放。
Is the Tread Pro traction board made by Tread 4x4 in Brisbane, Australia, an Australian-made raw product. The technology though behind the dual composite material is very, very interesting. The bulk of the board retains the strength and flexibility that we need for most four-wheel drive situations. Keep in mind you'll be driving a vehicle over this in fairly severe terrain and in fairly harsh conditions. The interesting thing about this board is that it's a dual composite construction. People have required extra traction with a wheel from the very beginning of time. This though is a huge advancement and has been designed purely from the ground up for the specific tyres that we use in four-wheel driving situations. The nodules here have been placed on an overlay design that allows them to fit in with most tread blocks on most common four-wheel drive tyres. There's a ramp section at this end with a higher nodule density for better uptake of the tyre for initial traction, and a shovel face at this end for your exit and for shoveling terrain away from around the wheels and under the vehicle. You've got your grip handles on the sides, as well as points to attach your lashes, which will allow you to recover the tread traction board after you've recovered your vehicle. There are numerous mounting points along the board, and the traction boards have a number of ways that they can be mounted to your vehicle, or in the case we're using on this trip, they're simply strapped to the roof rack. In many cases, a traction board recovery will be simpler and easier than winching or snatching. It's quick, it's easy, it'll get you out of trouble in most conditions, and they're a great addition to any four-wheel drive and four-wheel drive adventure. Although we were enjoying the dunes of our desert playground, with the city of Chifeng just a short drive away, our guides invited us to learn about and experience some local history. The history and civilization in this region dates back an incredible 5,000 years. Around 800 years ago though, a tribal leader called Genghis Khan unified Mongolia, the biggest known territory in the world. To find out more, let's check out the local museum.
我带的这个地方呢，它的地形是非常丰富的，既有草原，又有沙漠，它又有非常丰富的历史文化。
Genghis Khan, he was only a tribe leader,
Yes.
and that tribe is called Mongolia. They were dominating the land that's more than 3 times of China now, and at that time it was a fifth of the whole land on Earth.
Wow. It was one thing to see the history through the glass, but what we really wanted was to get up close and personal with some cultural features. And fortunately, one of our new mates knew the perfect spot and the right man for the job.
这个山叫牦牛海山，能带你们到这儿看我们这里特别有的一种岩画，是我特别骄傲的一件事情。这些岩画一般的外来人肯定是找不到的，只有当地人带领着才能找得到。你们是我知道的第一个外国友人来到这里，欢迎所有的外国友人来到我们这里参观。
We left Mengniu High Mountain and made our way back to the desert outside of Chifeng for some more off-road fun. Loaded up with the best Australian accessories, we once again hit the sand dunes and put our vehicles through their paces.
天下越野一家人，我想在中国玩越野的都非常的愿意去帮助一下。这个不光是在中国吧，我想应该是在澳大利亚或者其他的玩越野的这些地方，大家都有一颗越野的心，大家都崇尚自然，都有这种哥们儿啊情谊这种感觉。到沙漠里面来，第一件事是要放气，在大的阻力的情况下，尤其是在拐弯这过程当中，然后再加上有油门。 非常容易把轮胎和轮毂脱掉，我们的车是无法行驶的。这种情况在沙漠里是非常常见的。这个的施救也是非常的容易，其实看似很糟糕，但实际上是非常容易做到。
This is a perfect example of what can go wrong when you're running extremely low pressures. Now, as we said at the beginning of this trip, these guys are running between 0.8 and 1 bar, which is around 12 to 14 PSI. It's considerably low, but we need to run that pressure because the sand here is so very fine, very soft. Low pressures mean that the bead can separate from the tyre, and we're stuck with this. Now, there are a number of ways that this can be fixed, and this section we're going to try and fix it the quick way, which is jacking the vehicle up safely, cleaning out the bead as much as possible, getting a good quality air compressor onto the job, and with a little bit of man muscle, we should be able to flex this tyre back into place, seal the bead up, and get the tyre back on without having to change over to the spare. Fortunately, the guys are running an ARB compressor. We've got plenty of punch there to get this bead set back onto the rim. We've also got the factory jack, which is in the back of the vehicle. We've had to empty it out. Now, with soft sand, the bottom of the jack might not give you enough grip. Can dig into the sand quite a bit. So the chopping board from last night's dinner will do as a nice base plate to give us a bigger footprint to spread the load over the sand. Well done.
我们中国有很多的地形，地大物博，我们也非常羡慕你们澳洲的越野者，你们一出门就能去山里面去玩了，可能我们还得要跑个几百公里路。
The incredible expanse of the desert presents as a formidable four-drivers playground, offering the thrill of traversing with freedom. Back home in Australia, there are only a handful of public access areas providing similar opportunities. Amongst the limited vegetation and livestock, we said g'day to the local herder. As a homegrown descendant of Genghis Khan, he has witnessed the grassland slowly lose its diverse collection of native plants. He emphasised the importance of keeping the land healthy for future generations. The freedom to drive in such sandy conditions is incredible, but it also comes with great risk. A real severe misjudgment of the terrain, and the 200 series is close to written off. All 4 occupants are safe. This ARB bull bar is what saved us and saved the rest of the vehicle from further damage. It's protected the radiator, it's protected the engine, and we're in a mobile state. We're coming through this last section of dunes. We come over the top an underswept dune that's got a very sharp descent on it. It wasn't that big, but it was sharp enough that the speed we were travelling at, we came over it too fast. The vehicle's dropped down onto the nose, hit nose first, the airbags have gone off and we've done the damage that we've done. We'll get onto our trip leader, get them down here to assess the vehicle, and we'll make some decisions on how we're going to get out of here. Beautiful north of China. We're here testing Australian-made products, and we've certainly put this bull bar to the harshest test it's going to have here. After a slow and careful drive out, we headed towards a local town. It wouldn't be a 4-drive trip without a few battle scars, and the 200 series wasn't the only car that suffered some damage. Yunliang's car was stuck in 4-wheel drive, and we needed to get it to a local mechanic for urgent attention before the long trip home to Beijing. You've got to love modern vehicles. On this trip we've had one vehicle where the electronics have definitely saved the inhabitants. In this case, the electronics have worked against us. The ABS wire on the front right has become pinched between the coils. It's cut the wire right through, which means the ABS system goes into limp mode, which means the 4-wheel drive system is inactive. The selector knob in the middle of the 2 front seats cannot change from 4-wheel drive into 2-wheel drive. So we've had to get a scan gauge on the vehicle, check what the problem is. They've located it to the front right ABS sensor. You could not do that if you didn't have a scan gauge while you're out there on the tracks. A good reason to have an EDS type scan gauge in the vehicle, or have access to a workshop where they can do that for you. Going off-road and putting your vehicle and accessories to the test. That's what these trips are all about. The treads saved a bogged vehicle. The ARB compressor enabled us to reseat the bead on the tyre without too much hassle, and the Summit bull bar saved us from near disaster. This is why you spend your hard-earned dollars on quality accessories.
由于时间的关系呢，我们没有办法走得更多更远的地方，但是没有关系，这只是一个刚刚的开始。希望下一次越野电视呢，能够多拍一些 我们中国的越野的地形和我们中国的一些越野爱好者在玩的这些东西。同时呢，我们也希望我们澳大利亚的越野者呢能够到我们中国来，我们也希望我们中国的越野爱好者呢，我们到澳洲去。我觉得天下越野一家人，咱们都玩起来，开起来，欢迎你们。
Here we are back in Beijing at Yunliang's workshop where this adventure kicked off just a few days ago. Good and bad, it has certainly been an incredible experience. Well, sadly, it's the end of our Chinese adventure, the end of this episode, and the end of the series for this year. But tune in next year when myself and the team from Life Off-Road are back with bigger and better things. I'm Simon Christie. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard. We'll see you soon.